Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to get away from the guards in Daggerfall. We'll be doing this with only 2 abilities. We'll be going over CC, how to use it and how to avoid it, how to preserve your stamina, and some of the locations that I use in Daggerfall to get away from the guards. So as you can see here, I'm pretty low on stamina and I used the last of it to roll, foolishly. But luckily I know plenty of areas in Daggerfall that I can jump to that the guards can't get to. It's always good to have these places planned out ahead of time. That way if you ever get into a tight situation, you can just duck out into one of them. Another key element to getting away from the guards is blocking. When you block all of their CC abilities, making them completely ineffective. Now, to really take advantage of this, you're going to have to be running backwards most of the time. So the use of rapid maneuver really helps with that because it keeps your speed up even though you're running backwards. Another key aspect to getting away from the guards is understanding how their aggro works. Once you get out of the aggro area where you initially provoke them, they back off, but they usually have to attack first. So you'll see it right here. So I wasn't far enough away from the initial confrontation area there, so I back off and try it again. It may seem counterintuitive to move back slowly instead of just running away right away. But actually what you're doing is preserving your stamina, keeping an eye on when they're going to toss out their crowd control, blocking it, and getting to a safe zone as soon as possible. If you can get out of their aggro area, that works too, but the safe zones are even easier to get to. As long as you have CC, you should be fine. It's usually the first thing I toss out. Just remember, once they have that swirling thing around them, you can't use another CC until that thing goes away. And to preserve as much stamina as possible, I only use Magicka-based CCs. That way you always have enough stamina to do a dodge roll or break free. So all I'm trying to do here is get away from that initial confrontation area. Once I'm far enough away, the damage over time hurts him, which makes him reset back to his original spot. You may find yourself with several opponents at the same time. Just make sure that you target the guard for the CC. Take your time when you're aiming. The safest place to be a thief is the city that you know the best. So I choose Daggerfall because I know all the little ins and outs of the area. I can run backwards through most of the city. Guards typically don't use 2 abilities in a row, so once they use one, that's your chance to turn around and get some distance between the 2 of you. As you can see, I'm getting away pretty safely from these guards with just 2 abilities, and one of them being a universal ability, rapid maneuver. Any class can use that. And a CC ability. It doesn't have to be Agony, it just has to be an instant cast CC. Now what I used to do when I first started out was jump off of the ledges, but I quickly realized that was not a very consistent way of getting away from them. It's much easier just to find spots where the guards can't get to you and just stand up there and block.
I saw that.
Now we all know how unpredictable Elder Scrolls Online can be, so it's always good to have a secondary escape plan just in case the one you normally use does not work. As you can see here, I get stuck somehow, so I can't jump off to the left. I decide to go to the right. And here's another example of one of those off-the-wall situations where a guard breaks free of CC, uses 2 abilities in a row. There's no way I would have survived that if I had my back turned to him. But even with all the random stuff that happens in this game,
you should be pretty successful if you follow this tutorial. Just remember to go back to the Outlaw's Refuge once in a while and cash in. I usually cash in all the greens first and then deposit that money. The whites stack up rather nicely, so if you don't have that much time on your hands, you can just log into your character and cash in all the whites that you have. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. In my next video, I'll be covering how to quickly level up your thief skills and the best places in Daggerfall to pick pockets.